Welcome to another little bathrobe chat. This is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, on both YouTube and Facebook. How are you today? So I have a question for you. I usually do. Instead of, Sarah School ends up being a question, right? So anyway, today I was wondering, what is the cost of your admission? What price do you pay, did you pay, do you keep paying to be here? Not to be here on this site, silly, but, to change yourself, to upgrade your health. Oh, and to lose some weight. That's right, that's how we all met, isn't it? So what is the cost of admission? Okay, so you get to that self-loathing, disgusted, I'm not going to do this anymore, starting. Maybe you did like I did. You looked up when the next Weight Watcher meeting was beginning. That's what I did. And it was a disgusting Saturday morning that I was having. And so I looked it up, and they were having two, one at 8 and one at 10 on this Saturday morning in the summer. It was June, I think June 25th. So I went to my other 12-step meeting, and that was due to get over at 8:30, and then another meeting went from 8:30 to 9:30, and then I knew I was going to go to the 10 o'clock Weight Watchers meeting. And so I was halfway through the first meeting, and not even halfway through, it was like 10 of 8, and I said, I'm not waiting one more minute. I am not going to wait one more minute. And I went, and there was this first they do the weigh-in and the sign-up and all of this kind of stuff. And got through that and sat through the meeting. And like a lot of us, a couple of really trim women came in, and I said, why are they here? Of course, not getting the concept. And this isn't my first rodeo with losing weight, because I entered OA in the 70s, so we're talking 2014, so we're talking 40 years later. And so I sat through the meeting and signed up, and realized that I did not want to do the meetings, that I wanted to do the online ones, and I did not want to spend $40-something a month. And so I changed it up so it was just online. And so my cost of admission, dollar-wise, was not bad. What was it, $20 a month with my online. And I did it for about 18 months. But it wasn't the cost dollar-wise. And for you, it's not the same, is it? No. It's the recognition that this time I have to do something. And we all know that first month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on how much you have to lose and how long your honeymoon with it all lasts, right? So you pay a lot of the price up here. And aren't my videos mostly about what's up here? I encourage you to track, drink water, pay attention, try new things, read labels, but the motivation, if you're not waking up with I can do this, you're starting to actually, the cost goes up, right? Because you're screwing around with what you know is tried and true. And there's not one person that's 30 days into Weight Watchers. Usually that's where most of us begin. So there's not 30 days into your program that you are not gun-ho, I'm doing it the way I'm supposed to, especially if you're going to meetings. Because you've got the motivation of the leader there, the other people there, you're hearing things there that you might not be hearing when you're reading things online. And I am a read online and get motivated. And when I walk, I listen to, podcasts all the time. And I walk, in a perfect world, I'm walking every day. In the winter, sometimes it's treadmill, so I'll listen to other things. But when I'm walking, which will be this morning, my 4-mile walk, I'm getting a good hour podcast in. And I am always washing my head. My cost of admission, what's it cost? It cost nothing dollar-wise. Although, I will say, as Sarah does her slurp, I will say that I have spent some money on some dud items that I've ended up tossing. And I think most of that was going wheat-free and then still having grains. But they were other ones, and they were the organic cookies, not cookies, excuse me, crackers, oftentimes the gluten-free pizzas before I started making my own, and things like that, and dud foods that just weren't going to make it. And so there was a little bit of a cost there, but most of the cost is the emotional part. And when I am on track, you can't tip me over. There's no toppling of Sarah. When I am on track, I am disciplined, I'm structured, I'm prepped. The food's in the fridge. The food is prepped in little glass jar containers. I am as safe and secure as I could feel. You know, it's like when we swaddle a baby that's withdrawing from drugs. You know, when you swaddle them, they are safe and secure. They calm down. I am safe and secure when my tracker over there is tracked for the day. Maybe even some of the bones for the next few days are put in. My little glass jars are prepared in my fridge. My two bags that I bring to work are ready. They're hungry. Feed me. And by prepped, I mean my salad is prepped. And what I've been doing is a halvesy. I bring my salad to work and I have it with 2 hard-boiled eggs. I eat half. The second half goes home with me for dinner. I've been having my yogurt breakfast this week, which is a mini one, a half a tablespoon of ground flaxseed and a half a tablespoon of coconut oil mixed. That's the bottom layer. And then a quarter of a cup of Fage Greek yogurt, plain, on top of that. And then 1 tablespoon or a half a tablespoon of almond butter and a half a tablespoon of peanut butter. And that accompanies my half a salad, my 2 hard-boiled eggs, and my little bowl of organic berries. And that is my lunch. And so that's packed. My bone broth is packed. My Keurigs are packed, and my Zyla, my little container of Zyla with my half a tablespoon measuring spoon, is all packed. I am ready. My napkins are packed because I dine. I sit with a cloth napkin, which is actually one of those cloth towels, and I have my lunch, and I lay it all out. People think I'm whack-a-jack. I am. I even bring my supplements, and I have it within 18 ounces of water when I'm there. Then I have a water later on in the afternoon because I stay hydrated. Because when I'm hydrated, my mental health is not saying my mental health. My mental hunger is not saying you're hungry. Well, no, I'm going to have a thing of water, and I'm going to have a thing of coffee. You know, like 1-ish. And that's going to hold me over because I had a substantial lunch. There are plenty of fats, plenty of proteins. And to me, because of my palate, I'm almost used to no sugar. So to have that little peanut butter, yogurt, coconut oil, flaxseed item, it's almost desserty to me. So, and the only sugars are in the yogurt naturally occurring. So, you know, it works. So the cost of admission needs to be boot kicked. That's why we have Sarah Smackdowns. It needs to be made aware. That's why we have Sarah School. And it needs to be chitty chatty about what I'm doing that makes it work for me. So then when you comment below, you'll say, hey, I'm doing the same thing, or hey, this is how I do it. And, you know, Joanne and I had a good laugh. Yesterday we were talking about measuring spoons and how she has 2 sets, one for the dry ingredients and one for the wet, and how she gives the dry ones a good whack on the side of the bowl and then puts them back into her drawer, and every 6 months or so washes them. And I so get it. Mine are constantly draining with my little baby spatulas on a towel that, I clean the towel every week. And so they sit there and they drain. And so I've always got my working tablespoons, half tablespoons, little spatulas, always working, because when I do my bulletproof coffee, there's weigh and measuring. And, like the mini yogurt breakfast, when I have my salad dressing, all of it. I just keep doing it. And the dry ingredients, well, yeah, that would be the ground flaxseed in the mini yogurt breakfast. And then I just move on to the coconut oil. So I end up washing it once. So anyway, the cost of admission is really setting your head. When we grew up, if you were lucky and you had nice guiding parents, you were guided to the next and to the next and to the next, and you were raised and given a culture. You were given the domestic culture and then the societal culture that you just kind of knew what you were doing as it, this is how it should be, right? And some of us rebelled against it. Some of us didn't have parental guidance like me, so I was the parent and grew up quick. And so as adults, we need to get into that mindset. And so the ones that still cheat and giggle, like what I say, the Hershey's Kiss that comes with the giggle, oh, I really shouldn't, but they've been talking to me all day. I want to smack her. So then, we can't do that. And we become our own parent, and we become our own mentor, and we become our own guide. And we get lots and lots and lots of support where we look for it. We've all had friends that want to sabotage us. We've all had coworkers that want to sabotage us. Come on, relatives. I made this for you. It was always your favorite. And we all have those guilt-inducing people. Like, their day's wrecked if I don't eat their lemon meringue pie, right? And don't fall for the sabotaging ones. They don't care. Stick with the winners. The cost of admission is really just brainwashing your head into what you have to do now. What it takes today, tonight, tomorrow, the next day. And you layer one day over the next. I learned this in 12-step programs. I learned this in Overeaters Anonymous in the 70s. It's not one good day and you hop on the scale because you think you've lost the 16 pounds you've put on in 1 year. It's not. It's very slow out of the forest of weight gain. And those of you that are retreads in Weight Watchers probably know that, because you've come back and it's like, wow, it's not going like it used to. Getting older? Let's talk about getting older. I'm 65. And trust me, metabolism slow down each decade. So we can't eat as much. We can't get away with what I used to get away with. And it's not getting away with, because I'm ruining my body with horrible ingredients. So the cost of admission mentally is just growing up, okay? Pull up your big girl panties. Step into it. Embrace it. It's here. Consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself chosen if you're going to be a winner doing, whether it's Weight Watchers Smart Points, whether it's sticking with the PPV, whether it's doing low carb, high fat. I don't care. You shouldn't care what you do as long as you do it. And when you've got one foot in one program and one foot in another, it might not work, right? So you need to be true to who? You. Be true to your tracker. If you're doing something and you're still starving, check it out. Check out another program. If you are still doing Smart Points and you're satisfied, good. Stay with it. It works until it might not. And that's how a lot of us ended up with the low carb, high fat. It just kind of didn't work anymore. We were still hungry. Kind of, when we were around the people that said, no, I'm never hungry, we're going, I always am. Understanding the difference between mental hunger. My mental hunger is between 12 and 5. That's when it's going to come. That's when that bear awakens inside of me, that beast. So what have I done? I've learned to stay within my fat ratios, for me now, and do it. Satisfy it. It came with having a substantial lunch, which is really breakfast and lunch combined. That's what works for me. It holds me all the way through till dinner. I had to learn that. I had to tweak it. That's the cost of admission. Being willing to understand inside of you what needs constant monitoring, tweaking, upgrading, smackdowning, schooling. There's all different kinds of things. Some food is wasted as you go along your journey. But once it stops being wasted and you buy the products that work for you, you will save money. I do. Sometimes it's just like, I don't need any more cheese. I don't need any more yogurt. I don't need any more coconut milk. I got plenty of Kerrygold butter. I got plenty of coconut oil. The produce comes every week anyway. The organic berries come every week anyway. And I'm satisfied, and I never get tired of it. Now that I've added that fathead, well, I haven't made the fathead pizza, but I have made the almond meal pizza. That was the missing link for me. That was the little treat. And so it's finding it, but first you got to get structured and disciplined. That's the cost of admission. Nobody's going to do it for you. I don't care how rich and famous you are. Nobody's going to sit there. Well, maybe in that case. But for most of us, we have to do the tracking. It's not, honey, can you track my food for the day? Not going to happen. Honey, can you make all my little glass jars of num-nums for me for the week? Not going to happen. So grow up, pull up the big girl panties, understand that the rest of us that are doing this and have had success learned discipline and some sacrifice. I'm up between 2 and 3 in the morning like a crazy woman getting it done. Why? Because I don't want that stress at the end of the day. I want it done. Maybe that's not you. Maybe you're one of those that after everything's calmed down in the kitchen at night, you can go in and do it. Finding your rhythm, finding what works for you. The cost of admission is huge because there is no set guide. There's plenty of support. There's plenty of I did it this way. In the 12-step programs, we call it experience, strength, and hope. And that's what the cost of admission is. We learn from our seniors, the sage ones, the ones with the wisdom, not senior in age, but senior along the path. And once you step onto that path, you'll find that more have gone ahead of you with their sickle. You might have to weed as you go. But trust me, the trodden path has lots of experience, strength, and hope for you. You can find it here. You can find it at your meetings. You can find it in OA, Weight Watchers, Low Carb, High Fat podcasts, Facebook pages. And the cost is not a lot. Not when it comes to your mental health, not when it comes to your physical health. And that's what we get from being here. Have a wonderful day. This has been Sarah. Until the next time. Bye-bye for now.